What is going on, guys? Back with another video. Today I'm bringing you an update on Veracity, which has been performing absolutely appalling. This thing has just been a complete mess, and they have a few days left until the POV token migration, and there hasn't really been any update, um, which isn't good, right? Because as we know, they have had a lot of time. They have had plenty of time to have this put in place. We're all aware that it takes time to get this sorted. It's not an easy thing to do, but they had this on their roadmap, and we have a few days left until the end of June. And if they push this back, for me, then this is just a complete waste, in my opinion. So, as I've said, guys, the one thing that got me into Veracity in the first place was how bullish, how active, how engaging, how loyal the community was. This was consistently trending. It had a massive community who were always posting about the project. And, don't get me wrong, it has a massive use case, within ad fraud. They're partnering with, real companies. They have good listings. They have good collaborations. I mean, in terms of the marketing aspect, they have that covered. All right. And it's frustrating because sometimes you have a project where everything else is strong, but the marketing lacks. And that's the opposite of Veracity. They just do not know how the team do not know how to conduct themselves properly. They don't know how to, clarify points, and they just do not know how to structure the tokenomics in place where there's not going to be so much confusion. So it is a massive shame, because when they post things like this, when they boast a lot of people are using the product, right? VeraViews to combat ad fraud does have a real use case, but this isn't what the community want. We all know that they're getting clients. We want to know when the final steps are going to be put in place for this token migration, which, to be honest, no one really wanted in the first place. But the community stuck behind. They were loyal, and they thought, look, we'll try and see this through. But when you post jokes like this of a meerkat and with no relevance, obviously people are not going to be happy, all right? Obviously, you still have the people who are bullish. And again, guys, I am not saying that I hate Veracity. I do still hold a small bag, and of course, it's come down. And it's one of those things that this is why you need to be very fussy. You need to be very diverse in your holdings. I get people who say they hold one project or two projects, and guys, you should hold, in my opinion, at least 5 to 10 projects. I would say at least 10, obviously depending on your capital. But as you can see, a lot of people are frustrated. You can see here, no updates on POV migration, and people are angry. So if they don't get this sorted over the next few days, they're probably going to lose a lot of those holders, and they've only really got themselves to blame if that happens. It doesn't look good, right? I'm aware, they've got a good ecosystem. They are updating. They are continuing to develop. But when the main point, the main thing everyone wants sorted is the token migration, that should be put to the priority, right? No one's complaining about the developments. No one's complaining about the partnerships. Those are all good, in terms of VeraViews, in terms of the marketing. It is all really good. But, they're getting these influencers and, probably paid. A lot of these are paid. I'm just telling you straight up real. This is an honest opinion, all right? And if I don't like a project, I don't care. You need to understand, guys, things change rapidly. Things can change in a day. The team go ghost. The team do not stick to deadlines, and you can't just be a bag holder. You can't just be completely loyal to a project. You have to be fair. You have to be honest. You can't be biased. You can't have that attachment, ride or die attachment to a coin, because they don't care about you. They're going to dump on you. And ultimately, with the chart, it does not look good. Of course, as well, this market cap is just fluctuating all the time. A couple months ago, this was, I think, 15 million, and it jumped up to over 100 million. So no one knows what is going on, and it is not good enough. So the team need to wake up again. Similar, well, it's not similar to Tectum. Tectum, I don't even think have any product or revenue source. Veracity obviously are generating revenue through their products. I do believe that. I do know that they are. They've got clients, paying clients, but they just need to get this fixed. And I do think it still has the possibility to be turned around, because this could be a project which, if they fix the tokenomics, if they, get this token migration done well and it's successful, this could definitely have a big recovery. All right. And that is why I still hold a small bag, because I still believe that there is a small amount of time left for them to turn things around. If they don't, then, as I've said, they have only themselves to blame. People are going to move on to other projects which are updating, which have good tokenomics, and which ultimately the team know how to, move forward with the project. And you can see a lot of the sentiment. You still have a big community, right? You've got people who are, diehard fans for Veracity, and that's good. That is something which is something to be proud of. You've got, accounts which are solely talking about Veracity, but you also get the people who are smart, the people who are looking at it from, logical perspective, who understand that there is just 2 days and there hasn't been an update. So it is not good, guys. So maybe they put an update out after this video. Maybe it comes tomorrow and they shock everyone, and then we see the price completely skyrocket, or it continues on the downtrend. Ultimately, you have to have a diverse portfolio and, never rely on one project. So update on Veracity, guys, not impressed. And you have to just be honest with these situations. And obviously, we will see what happens over the next few days and see if they can stick to their deadline, which is for the best if they want to keep a lot of their holders. Anyway, guys, I'll see you soon for the next video.